Good evening, my watchers, my watchmen. Well, now I'm going to talk about a subject called impulse control. What is impulse control and how I'm going to talk about this, how it relates to, well, achieving any kind of success in the world. Impulse control is really important. So if we start, what's impulsivity? Impulsivity is the anti side of like thinking. It's like the antithesis for thinking and planning and all that. Impulsivity is like spontaneity. It's like child like a like like being a child. Child are more impulsive. So how so there are good things about impulsivity, but there are also really bad things about impulsivity. And now I'm going to discuss about these things, how we can differentiate what are the when we are going to benefit from being a bit impulsive and when we are going to benefit from being more, how can I say it, being more strategic, being more thinking, being more in the head space. So what impulse control is really about, it's about mental images, because when you get an impulse to do something, this is the stuff that the most impulsive people don't even know, because they are so impulsive that their mind works on autopilot. Basically, they are basically slaves to their mind. They don't have the capacity, the consciousness to observe their mind, so they are slaves to their mind. This includes many addicts and all kinds of people, children. Well, so it's about mental images, because when we get an impulse to do something, it's a mental image. There's this mechanism that you get a mental image here. It's like I don't know. This is a mental image of a fucking sexy woman that you want to grab from the best part. Whatever it is for you. You just want to fucking grab her, but there's this if you do sexual assaults on a regular basis, you have pretty poor impulse control. You cannot handle yourself. But if you have better impulse control, like if you are normal, you are not going to do this behavior. Then if you are a celibate monk, you are really not going to do this behavior. You are not going to tell her the best pickup lines are and all that jazz. You are not even going to probably look at her, because you know that if you look at her, you are going to get an impulse to do something, and that will linger on in the mind, and that's not beneficial for your practice if you are a celibate monk. But not everyone is a celibate monk, but celibate monks understand, I think, most deeply the issue of impulse control, because it's really about this seduction. Our mind seduces us to behaviors. It's like if you're marketing something, it's easy to market with sex, because you can seduce people with sex. Like if you want to sell if you want to sell fucking Coca-Cola or any kind of if you want to sell alcohol or something, you would advertise it with sex. This is because the sex creates an impulse to grab, to take what is offered. And if you combine that with the product that you want to sell, and that product is geared towards the lower impulses that drive us to the pleasure, basically, that like easy pleasure, like sugar, alcohol, drugs, sex, all this fucking bullshit that ruins people's life and their ability to think and have impulse control. If you have impulse control, you can you observe the stimuli that like, for example, if it's a fucking sexy lady that you are looking at, you observe her, then you observe the mind. You observe your own mind, and this is why most people are not celibate monks, because they cannot observe their own mind. They are not detached enough to see that impulse rising in the mind. They cannot see that impulse. If you see it, and then there's the third part. There's the grabbing on to the impulse. It's not about grabbing the woman. It's about grabbing your thought about grabbing the woman. That brings out the behavior in the end. And this is what celibate monks really have to grasp. It's not about the woman. It's not about your mind. It's about the grab. It's about this reaction of taking hold of the thought of taking hold. It's the same with everything. Like everything that seduces you, that tempts you. It's the thing that tempts you does not hold any power over your mind until you let it in. If you let the stuff in, if you grab it once, it's going to grab you more easily the next time. And this is how addiction grows. It grows in the mind. It grows because every time we grab something, we become weaker to the stuff, to what is offered. So if it's cigarettes, every time you smoke, this is not the way to quit smoking. You are not going to quit smoking by saying to yourself, I'm going to smoke just this cigarette and then I'm going to quit, or this pack of cigarettes and then I'm going to quit, because you are reinforcing the behavior all the time that you are fucking lying to yourself. It's not going to happen. You are never going to quit this with this mentality. If you want to quit addictions, it comes like this. I'm not going to do this. If I do this, I'm going to do it the next time. You say this to yourself, and you are going to get over addictions. You say to yourself, if I do this now, I'm going to do this tomorrow, and then tomorrow, and then tomorrow, and I'm going to be addicted to this thing, whatever it is, pornographic, porn or something. Porn is one of the hardest addictions to break from my experience. Because, well, it has this same mechanism. But if you want to quit watching porn, you have to do it like this. If I like, when the impulse comes, like when the temptation comes, you have to observe it, and then you have to say to yourself, if I fall to this temptation now, if I grab this temptation now, it's going to grab me the next time more easily, and then the next time more easily, and I'm going to lose my power to this addiction. There's no such a thing as I'm just going to do this one time. With addictive stuff, this is not possible. It's not possible because your mind becomes weak every time you give in to the addiction. This is why we have to take zero tolerance for things like sugar, like addictive substances, like tobacco, like weed, like porn, like all drugs, like, well, sex also. If we really want to have amazing impulse control, we have to let go of all, pretty much all things that bring us pleasure in the brain, because they in the end they make us weak. They make us weak and helpless. They don't really bring us peace. What they bring us is a lot of suffering. So we get rid of addictions by building this impulse control. And impulse control is really important that we understand this mechanism. It's not about the thing that you are wanting, like for example, like this beautiful lady. It's not about that. It's about your thought about the thing. And your thought about grabbing the thing is mainly because you think this is how this works in this case. You think about this specific example. The thought brings pleasant feeling in the mind. And because the thought, even the thought about the woman is pleasant, so your next mental image is about grabbing the woman. But if you really dive deep into this stuff, even that is just a mental image. If you believe it, you make it a reality. If you believe your mental images, you can make them realities. This is the fucking secret. This is really powerful if you learn how to use it for something else than grabbing women or grabbing beer from your fridge or something. If you learn to use this to grab hold of your fucking dreams or something, you are going to be fucking powerful. You're going to be fucking invincible, basically, because you learn how to grab the right things. Grab the right things. It's like being in a sushi restaurant and the conveyor belt goes like this. And if you pick the right things from the table, you're going to be fucking successful. If you pick the wrong things, you're going to be mediocre or fucking loser. So pick the right things from the table, and the right things that you want in your life are things that are not addictive, in a sense that these things are addictive. Things that build you up, like take you to heaven. These are things that you have to gravitate towards. Like things that bring you to hell, like women who are clearly not for your betterment or drugs or any kind of this kind of shit. If you know that it doesn't make your life better, so why you are using it is because your mind has become weak. Your mind is weak. You have to take the power back from the substance. Whatever it is. And this is really about how we build impulse control, because when we say, every time we say no to something pleasant, that really doesn't bring us long-term benefits. It's about long-term thinking. In the end, it's about thinking in the long term. If I take this easy way of feeling good now, I'm going to feel bad after probably like few hours or something, and then this makes me weaker and weaker, and so at some point I'm unable to reach the stuff I really want, which would make me happier in the long term, or it's about delayed gratification basically, and not even that. It's about taking the risk that you are never going to get the gratification. This way of life is not about feeling good or feeling bad. Well, basically, this is not about masochism or or anything. This is not about pleasure. This is about getting stuff done that you really want to get done. It's about life purpose. It's not about feeling good. Feeling good is simple. It's too basic. It's too basic. Like there's no real depth to experience of feeling good. It's not satisfying. It's much more satisfying to gain some understanding or something. It brings much more joy. It feels much better, and it doesn't make you empty in the long term or like that. So that's why impulse control is really important if we want to gain any kind of success in our life, and this is a skill that we have to build, and the best ways to hone this skill is meditation and contemplation, thinking, really, because thinking about things makes you smarter. It builds up your thinking faculties basically, that you can use to circumvent the obvious traps in the world. They don't grab you so easily if you this is the stage that you become like really conscious that this world is not your friend. Like most people are really not here for you. Most people are really not here for you. They are here for to like take you down. There are people who want to take you up. I want to take you up to the fucking heavens. So if you want to go to the fucking heavens, this is the way. There's no other way. Like you have to understand freedom is like being an addict, being free to use anything, and being fucking addicted to pleasure is not freedom. This is what the well, you cannot even say that it's left-hand path thinking, but it's really not. But it leans to that more satanic side of thinking that you can like this is freedom. Like it's not freedom. It brings you much suffering in the end. Freedom is the power to say no to these things, to find something better, to find something that goes beyond the senses, to find something that is much more sublime. It's much more hard to see or feel or anything. It's much more. You have to have a sensitivity to these things. So this was my rant about impulse control and why it is so important when we are trying to achieve success in things. This brings focus. So maybe I'm going to talk about focus in the next video. Thank you.